This is the Overhall Mill, also known by the unusual name Spectacle Eye Mill. It lies in Avondale, close to Straven in South Lanarkshire. It lies on the Kype Water. Just upstream from it is another mill, a corn mill in its day. That was the Tweedy Mill. And further downstream, towards where it joins the River Avon, is another old mill, was a walk mill. A walk mill being a mill that prepared worsted cloth. Right next to the old mill is a fairly impressive waterfall. This is known as either the Kype or Spectacle Eye Falls. There are smaller waterfalls further upstream. Back around 1801, the old corn mill was a thatched building. Now the miller had a beautiful daughter, and a local lad was courting her. For some unknown reason, the miller took a great dislike to this lad and refused to allow him access to the house or to see his daughter again. In an act of revenge, the lad took his glasses, his spectacles, placed them on the thatch, and on a particularly bright day, acting as a magnifying glass, set light to the thatch and burned the corn mill down. It's not recorded what happened to the lad and to his intended wife. The mill was rebuilt, but was opened as a lint or flax mill in 1841. It's not clear whether the mill was involved in the whole process of converting the flax right the way through to linen, or just at one of the stages. In 1858, the mill was recorded as being a cotton mill, and finally, in 1896, it's referred to as the Kype Falls Print Works, and printed patterns onto cotton and onto calico, calico being a poor quality cotton. In around 1860, the owner was a James White. By 1897, though, the mill had closed. Photographs show the old mill to have once been a substantial structure. It had a large iron water wheel fed with water from a dam lying above the falls. There also seems to be a large chimney suggesting that it had an auxiliary power supply when the water was low, either an oil engine or a steam engine. Most of the mill buildings have been demolished and the stone robbed, and that is used elsewhere. You can make out where the water wheel used to stand. You can see the foundations and some of the walls of the old mill, and at the top you can make out the foundations of the miller's house. It's not clear if there's ever a formal mill pond, but if you walk down on the pedestrian access from Tweedy Mill, you can make out an area which one time could have been flooded with sufficient water to run the mill for a day. The mill once had vehicular access on a lane that ran up through Overhall Farm, then down past Tweedy Mill, past the ford near Craig, and then into Sandford. The mill lies on a well signposted route. You can park your car at the Sandford Community Centre, and then the signs will indicate you walking up past Tweedy Mill, pedestrian access down to the mill itself, then beside the river going past the old walk mill, and then back via Tweedy to Sandford itself.